In the year 1645, on the edge of life and legacy, Japan's most dangerous philosopher-warrior, Miyamoto Musashi, took brush to parchment. Not to boast, not to entertain, but to leave behind the core of everything he'd learned through a lifetime of violence, observation, and disciplined solitude. This was a man who'd killed his first opponent before his voice had fully dropped. A man who walked into over 60 duels and walked out every time. Alone. Undefeated. What he left behind was the Book of Five Rings, a collection of teachings divided into 5 elemental layers: earth, water, fire, wind, and void. Each book isn't just a metaphor, it's a weapon. Earth is the foundation, water is form, fire is conflict, wind is critique, void is intuition, silence, and pure awareness. But buried in the Book of Earth, where the foundation is laid, Musashi gives us 9 rules, not for swordsmanship, but for seeing clearly and moving with precision in any domain of life. These rules are not soft wisdom, they're forged steel. Rule 1. Do not think dishonestly. This is where Musashi begins, not with form or tactics, but with the mind. Do not think dishonestly. It sounds simple, but it cuts deep. He isn't warning you about lying to others, that's obvious. He's warning you about the kind of dishonesty that's invisible, the kind you direct at yourself, the excuses, the denial, the quiet editing of reality to make yourself feel better. I'm doing fine. They just got lucky. I don't need to change. These thoughts feel safe, but they're poison in disguise. Self-deception is the first step toward defeat. Because if your foundation is false, every move you make on top of it is flawed. Thinking honestly means facing what you don't want to face. Your habits, your weaknesses, your part in the mess. It means seeing clearly even when clarity hurts. And when you do that, when you cut through illusion, you move differently. You become efficient, strategic, dangerous. You stop acting from ego and start acting from truth. This is why Rule 1 comes first. Not because it sounds noble, but because it's necessary. You cannot master anything until you stop lying to yourself. Rule 2. The way is in training. The path to mastery is not found in words, theories, or inspiration. It is built through repetition, through discipline, through sweat and silence. Train every day, with the sword, with the brush, with the body, with the mind. Train until hesitation disappears, until thought and movement become one. Musashi knew, in battle you will not have time to think. Your body must already know. Your spirit must already be steady. Do not train only when it's convenient. Train when you are tired. Train when you are bored. Real strength is forged in the hours no one sees. The path does not reward intensity, it rewards consistency. A little every day, with full attention, with full effort. That is how instinct is born. Understanding without training is hollow. Desire without discipline is useless. Skill without repetition will break under pressure. The way is not a goal, it is a practice. You do not reach it. You walk it, daily, without excuse, without pause. The way is in training, or it is nowhere. Rule 3. Become acquainted with every art. A warrior must not be narrow. To master one thing, you must learn from many. Musashi studied the sword, but also painting, calligraphy, architecture, and Zen. Not for distraction, for depth. Each art reveals something the others hide. Music teaches rhythm. Painting sharpens the eye. Poetry trains subtlety. Strategy lives in the space between them. If you limit yourself to one path, you limit your thinking. You become rigid, predictable, easy to break. But when you understand many forms, you begin to see the common thread that runs through all of them. Timing, flow, balance, pressure, stillness. Every true art reflects life. And every art you study sharpens your vision. A broad mind is harder to surprise. A trained eye sees what others miss. To become great at anything, you must step beyond it. Learn what is unfamiliar. Explore what humbles you. Let other disciplines shape your perspective. This is not distraction. It is refinement. It is how you build flexibility, creativity, and strength that does not depend on one tool or one way. To master the sword, know the brush. To master movement, understand stillness. To master battle, study peace. The one who knows only their own art becomes trapped in it. The one who knows many becomes free. Rule 4. Know the ways of all professions. A true strategist does not see the world through a single lens. To understand people, patterns, and power, you must study how others move, how they think, how they work, how they survive. Learn the farmer's patience. He knows the rhythm of nature, the cost of rushing, the value of steady hands. Learn the merchant's calculation. He sees risk, gain, timing, and trust, and knows when to walk away. Learn the carpenter's precision. He measures twice and cuts once. No waste, no guesswork. Learn the soldier's discipline. He rises early, moves without question, and acts without fear. Learn the artist's eye. He senses what others miss and expresses what others suppress. Each profession is a way of thinking, a way of solving problems, a way of navigating pressure. When you understand them, you understand the people who live by them, their habits, weaknesses, strengths, and limits. This insight becomes a weapon. Musashi knew, to master combat, you must also master observation, and to observe well, you must respect every craft. Do not look down on any trade. There is no low work, only low awareness. Every role, every task, every system reveals something about how the world works. The strategist studies not just war but life, not just force but function. To move through the world with power, you must first understand how it's built. Know the ways of all professions. Then you'll see not just what people do, but why. And you'll always be 5 moves ahead. Rule 5. Distinguish between gain and loss in worldly matters. Not everything gained is a victory. Not everything lost is a defeat. Musashi warns against being blinded by appearances, wealth, praise, titles, or status. These are fleeting. They come with cost, and often they come with weakness attached. True gain strengthens the spirit. False gain distracts it. Many chase profit and call it progress. But if it dulls your clarity, if it bends your principles, it is a loss disguised as success. Learn to measure outcomes differently. Does it bring you discipline? Does it sharpen your focus? Does it make you more capable? If not, it may be weight, not worth. Likewise, not all loss is failure. Loss can teach you what ease never will. Pain can shape your endurance. Defeat can strip away illusion. The key is discernment. See what's real beneath what's loud. Refuse to be ruled by craving. Refuse to be driven by fear. A warrior who knows the value of things and the price of keeping them is far harder to control, far harder to fool. Let gold serve the mission, not replace it. Let recognition follow action, not direct it. You are not here to collect everything. You are here to collect what matters. And knowing the difference, that is power. Rule 6. Develop intuitive judgment and understanding for everything. Knowledge is not enough. Logic is not fast enough. In the moments that matter, you must move without hesitation. That requires more than analysis. It requires intuition, sharpened by experience, shaped by awareness, and trusted without fear. Musashi understood. In battle, the time to think is already gone. You must know without needing to reason. Intuition is not guesswork, it is recognition. a deep understanding of timing, rhythm, and pattern, built through constant observation and reflection. You train it by paying attention, by noticing how things behave, by acting, failing, adjusting, and learning again. Trust your senses, let your mind gather quietly. Let your instincts speak. But do not mistake impulse for insight. Intuition is not loud, it whispers, and it sharpens with discipline. It sees danger before it forms. It senses openings before they appear. It reads the mood, the silence, the shift, not just the move. A warrior who can read the field before the first strike gains control of the entire fight. Balance logic with instinct, thought with feeling. And when they align, move without doubt. Intuition is not a gift, it is a skill. And when trained well, it becomes your most precise weapon. Rule 7. Perceive those things which cannot be seen. The greatest forces are invisible: fear, intention, doubt, desire. Musashi says, train your perception until you see what others miss. That glance before a move, that hesitation in speech, that moment of tension before the storm breaks. If you can feel it before it forms, you're already ahead. This is strategy on the edge of instinct, where attention becomes foresight. Be still enough to notice. Be quiet enough to hear. Most people miss the signal because they're addicted to the noise. Rule 8. Pay attention even to trifles. Everything matters: the way you walk, the way you tie your belt, the way you set a cup down. Sloppiness in the small leads to failure in the large. A broken empire begins with a crooked brick. Attention is a form of respect for the craft, for yourself, for the outcome. There are no minor actions in mastery, only stacked moments of presence that lead to precision. The greatest victories come from noticing what others ignore. Rule 9. Do nothing which is of no use. This is the final rule, the severing blow, the one that slices through the noise of modern life. Do nothing which is of no use. Not as an aesthetic, not as a minimalist trend, as a discipline. Every action should either serve your path or nourish your ability to walk it. Cut the rest. Useless talk, useless goals, useless habits. Every time you say yes to distraction, you say no to mastery. Live with intent. Think with purpose. Move like your time is priceless. Because it is. Final words. Strategy is life. Musashi didn't write these rules for the sake of sounding wise. He wrote them as a blueprint for survival in a world full of uncertainty, chaos, and death. But what he crafted goes far beyond the battlefield. These are rules for clarity, for focus, for the kind of intelligence that doesn't blink when the stakes are real. The warrior, the artist, the leader, the lone strategist, they all walk the same road. And these 9 rules? They're not just advice. They're armor.